Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.
Hello and welcome to your midweek energy update with yours truly, Tom Lawless and Cymatic TV. How's this part of the week started off for you guys? Woo, there is so much going on at the moment, but not just on this earth, not just with the humans, but all over the place. I will be doing a special in-depth look on Sunday night. It should be going out live on our YouTube channel, so don't forget to subscribe, click that bell, so you'll be informed, so you can be part of it, because the question answer thing is really important. You know, we're all part of the solution, and I think we've all got a bit of a puzzle to share with each other. So I'll be going more into that at the end of this video, so keep your eyes peeled for that. We will also be going into pole shift, the solar eclipse, the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, and we're only going to be touching on the surface today because we don't have the time to do it all. That's why we're going to be doing the live show on Sunday night, 8 o'clock GMT time. Be there, okay? So let's just see what's been going on in the energies at the moment through our local distributor, the Sun. As you can see there on the other side, you can see that sunspot that's coming round at the moment. That's been coming round. This is the 12th. This is earlier on in this week. It keeps popping off little flares going on and stuff like that. And it did pop off a nice big one just after that, which was, well, I say big one. It was a major C flare. I'm getting carried away, aren't I? It was a major C flare. It wasn't coming in our direction, so it's not a real problem. Although we do like that sort of energy. It's certainly, I don't know if you saw in the last video about the solar flare. It's certainly made things a little bit more sort of zippy and stuff like that coming through. And so this is this solar cycle 25 that's kicking off. But it's not the only thing that's going on at the moment. And this is what we should be aware of. In my past energy reports, if you want to go back and have a look, go back through the playlist. I talked about arranging the roots of all the situations that we're dealing with at the moment, getting the foundation sorted. If you get the foundation sorted, you should be living this moment at this moment as a more free time to actually do more stuff, to take things on further down the line. And it should be quite good. It should be quite optimistic. It's still very root orientated. So it's still sorting out the foundation, making sure it's nicely squared off the path so you can walk on it calmly. And that is what this corona hole up here, which is coming through, and it's a trans-equatorial corona hole. So it will be hitting Earth solidly. And we've been seeing this actually with the uptick in earthquakes. And this will give us that heavy energy, which is a root energy. This is the energy that sort of got to sort stuff out. I've just managed to sell a vehicle. I'm selling a house as well, which is going through at the moment. Done the paperwork for that. Can move on to the next step and etc. So it's happening in my life. I hope it's happening in yours. If you're on the ball, if you're getting things sorted, get them sorted. It's going to be amazing because we've got lots of stuff coming through and down the pipe. So how's the Earth been doing? On the top left here, we can see our magnetic field's been reasonably calm and sometimes a little bit too calm. Where it did drop off quite a lot in waves. We're still getting those waves, that oscillation of the Earth as it goes through that solar flare that solar flare went through, and that's created a bit of oscillation in the vibration of the Earth. So a little bit of toing and froing. Has the sun been spurting out anything? That is that minor C flare that you can see down below there. But generally, the rest of it is nice background noise, you know, nice background energy, really. And this is what solar cycle 25 is going to be all about. It's going to be that background vibration that's going to test a little bit the Earth. And if it does throw flares in our direction, if our magnetic field is being tested, we may have a few problems. And we did have a few problems with satellites and stuff like that. Up to the top right here, let's just go back to the beginning of this. Just wait for that to click through. Up here we have the polar vortexes. Now this is a little bit to do with the with the pole shift as well. You can see the northern part of the the North Pole there had that figure of 8, that infinity sign, and it had its partner joining it with a vortex just happening next to it. We've got the same thing going on in South America. On the South Pole, we can see the polar vortex collapsing as we get closer to the solstice, and it's also got that duality vortex up in the Atlantic, which has got to do with that southern Atlantic anomaly, which is all to do with the pole shift. So there is things that are all coming to a head at the moment. We've got the change of the vortexes from the South Pole to the North Pole. We've also got the solstice, and we've got plenty of other things going on. So at the moment, the vibration coming from the sun is actually pretty calm and stable. And that should give you that grounded foundation to actually move on and do stuff. Okay, so how's it been translating through the earth? The vibrations, we've got our old friends back, the root, the sacrum, and the plexus solis, or the solar plexus. Sorry, I forgot again. Yeah, so that's the rhythm that sort of came through. We had a lot of throat in the past 2 weeks, as if you would have been noticing on the other updates that we've been doing, the energies updates. So if your throat chakra's been trying you a little bit, if you've been finding it difficult with getting things out, it may be because you haven't sorted out those root situations, those root energies that are going on, because it's still there. That's still got that throat chakra, talking to us a little bit. It's calmed down in the sacrum, that's for sure. But we're certainly, as we go on, we can see the magnitude around the plexus solis really starting to kick in and starting to sort of say, now let's start doing it. We've worked it out. We know what we want. We've expressed what we want. And there's a little bit hitting the crown chakra, between the crown and the heart, but that's just equaling out the root chakra, giving us a nice bit of balance. And it has been that sort of constant energy at the moment that's been pushing us through. And look what happened on the 14th. So the 14th, if I remember rightly, was that eclipse. So we had that total eclipse that ran across South America. We will be going into that later on. But as you can well see in South America, that's where we had the biggest quake of the day on that day. We also had a nice northern one up in north of Norway, which you can see on the top corner, top left-hand corner or top right-hand corner, I guess, if you're looking at it. And that was a little bit of a reset, sort of kind of going, okay, we're coming through, the time is collapsing, we're coming closer to the 21st, the rhythms are getting shorter, things are getting tied in, and then we're going to break through with one vibration, and that will set the whole new rhythm going on for the next 800 years, 12,000 years, 25,000. Oh, you better see the update in depth on Sunday. There is amazing rhythms going on. So here we go into the 15th. The 15th, we've got a bit more going on the solar plexus, so that's asking us to move on and get things done. The throat is still being vocal, but we seem to be having a little bit more of a calming down situation on the sacrum. Today, what have we got? We certainly have got very few earthquakes as yet, but they're very strong earthquakes. And this could be signalling that arrival of that coronal hole in the next couple of days, and we should be sort of crescendoing. I would have thought we would get a 6.5, 7.5 earthquake this side of the weekend, possibly, by Saturday morning. I would have thought it would have crescendoed a little bit further onto that. I will be looking on it and seeing if there's anything to put out there. Okay, so let's get into some of these sort of connections with the Jupiter-Saturn connection, and also the solar flash. We will be going back into that because there's been some information that came out from NASA the other day, which has been pretty interesting. If you don't know what I'm talking about, solar flash, please go back. It's in the playlist. I talked about the idea of a solar flash happening on the 21st, which is the same day of the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. What's coming directly down the line from the sun? Well, we've got those sunspots coming through that we can see down the bottom there, 2793 and 2792. They're the ones coming around the corner at the moment. But they are accompanied by another coronal hole. And if that deepens down towards the aquatic aquatic, the equator, get a grip. The equator, if it moves down to the equator, that's going to be impinging on the sunspots. I can't speak English anymore, it's terrible. So it may quieten that down as it sort of starts to face us. So that may still give us that over the weekend before we hit the Sunday, the 21st on Monday, is that, okay, last bit of stuff to do on the foundations, okay? And then on Monday, what we've got coming, Eclipse, yes. So the connection to the rhythms of the universe for the eclipse. Okay, so we had an eclipse early on in the year, which you can see down at the bottom there, which was the June eclipse. And if you can see with it, it's almost completely opposite. It's in the northern hemisphere, and it's in the opposite part of the world. It sort of goes up, almost continues just above the blue line, as it were. And people might actually start questioning the fact that on my maps, these lines are pretty evident, that we get these curving lines, these main energy lines that go across the earth that create our chakras. But the one that happened on the 14th of December, so that was on the 2 days ago, Monday, yeah, look where it is with the South Atlantic anomaly. It pretty much follows it, doesn't it? Perfectly. What's going on there? Look at that. I've imposed it over the picture. You can see the dark line of the total eclipse, and then you can see the South Atlantic anomaly. It almost follows it. It follows it pretty much hand in hand, and that's all to do with your pole shift as well. So that's something that we're going to be tying in with the energy update in depth on Sunday night. Really get onto it. It is going to be a video that's going to make you realise why you're here. It really is. It's going to be a fantastic thing. We're going to tie in so many different aspects that should be happening on the 21st. Okay? So, let's get back down to that Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. Let's just sort of see what's coming up down the line and get a bit of a taster of what's going to be happening. Okay? So, it's happening on the 21st and the 12th, 20, a lot of 2s, 1s, and then you've got a 0. So, is this the up and ready, set and go sort of moment? You know, I've got to say, the conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn is only a visual effect from here on Earth. If you're looking at Jupiter and Saturn from the Sun, they have already separated. So the two are no longer right next to each other. They're actually space between them. The conjunction was earlier, about a week and a half ago, where we actually had the solar flare, and that's what the geological effects are going to do. So this conjunction on the 21st is more to do with spirit, more to do with the vibration that is going on within us. So what is Saturn and Jupiter all about? Up here we can see on this video up here is the top corner, top right hand corner, you can see the hexagon of Saturn, and down in the bottom you can see the Jupiter storm, or the red spot on Jupiter. Saturn is the 6th planet from the Sun. Why has it got a hexagon on there? It really is simple, childish, basic things to understand. You know, Jupiter has a pentagram on the top of his, on the poles and the south. It is the 5th planet. It is very simple things. Yeah, these two planets give us completely different things. You know, and when they're conjuncting together, what we're doing is okay. So Saturn, let's look at it in an astrological sense. Saturn is tied to Sagittarius, and Jupiter is tied to Capricorn. The 21st of December is that passing over from Sagittarius to Capricorn. It is a conjunction of the two, so what it's doing is sort of saying, this is where you should be coming from, and this is where you should be going. Now, there is some amazing things about Saturn and Jupiter as vibrationary sort of things, as we can see in the pictures in the middle. The top picture there is the Saturn storm. Now, normally, the Saturn storm lasts It happens once every 30 years. And pretty much you could time your watch by it. It's so precise, it's unbelievable. Yeah, you could be sitting there with a telescope, and you can say, "And solar storm starts now," and it will quite literally kick off. That was before the last solar storm we had, which was in 2010. Not solar storm, Saturn storm. Sorry, in 2010 and 11, because it lasted a long time. Yeah, was 10 years early. Completely out of whack. What we also then had after that, which you can see in the picture below, and this is Jupiter in the picture below, is you can see that beautiful red spot there. It's highlighted in white on there, and as you can see there, has actually grown a baby storm. So there is this passing from one generation to another. Is this what this conjunction is all about? There is another thing I'd like to go into. It's been called the Bethlehem Star. Now, I think that's pretty bad. Well, I think it's a pretty bad name to give it. You know, I think it's pretty obvious the connotations with Jesus and everything like that, and the star, because it's going to be really bright and everything like that, and I can understand that, but it happens once every 800 years. So if we go back to 800 years, last time it happened was in the 1200s. And then the last time it happened before was 400 AD. And then before that, it was 400 BC. So it doesn't fall on his birthday or when he was supposed to be born. Is it, and this could be the aspect, it is tied in with Aquarius because it is on 0 degrees of Aquarius. Could this be tied into the new humanity sort of era coming up? You know, moving into the age of Aquarius. Although the age of Aquarius is not defined, ages, they sort of mix between one and another, and you have this crossover point where, you know, where Aquarius starts influencing Pisces, and Pisces gets less influence upon it, and then we finally are into the age. Excuse me. There is, so what's it moving from what to what? So it's the conjunction between the two, and it can be very conflictual, which it was in 1200. When we saw in 1200, it was that whole idea of the Crusades and everything like that, the confrontation between two major religions and stuff like that. So we got a lot of the negative sides. So we should be looking at a lot of the positive sides that are coming out this way. So if we're coming from Saturn, Saturn is to do with consciousness, to do with wisdom, to do with philosophy, to do with humane and fair and authorities, and rules and regulations. Yeah. So it's really it's a ruler of time as well, as far as I can tell, and therefore, you know, it's sort of saying to us, you know, put your house in order. That's what it's saying, and this is what's been happening on the vibration over the last month. If you go back over my energy reports, you'll see this. Twice a week I go into this. You'll see this all the time happening. That's coming up. So it's passing on to Jupiter. So what's Jupiter bringing us? Bringing us its good luck, bounty, optimism, spiritual, mental growth, humour, and mercy. You know, upon the world, upon ourselves. You know, so if your foundation is nicely set in place, you should be able to go forward with absolute joy and optimism. You know. And this is what this conjunction is all about. It's sort of saying, are you ready? Is it Judgment Day? Of a sorts. We'll be going into that majorly on Sunday night. Yeah, we'll be going into that energy update in depth. It'll be at 8 o'clock GMT time. Please subscribe, hit the bell, and etc. So you'll know that it's coming up, because I think I have part of the puzzle of the solution. I only have a part. Yeah, and I'm going to share this part with you on Sunday night. And I think between us, collectively, we have the puzzle. So we're going to need you there. We're going to need you to be asking questions or giving forward information. Yeah, we're all part of this. This Sunday night should be a real eye-opener for everyone, in a way that you'll have a moment of kind of going, oh, I know now what it's all been leading up to in my life. I know why I'm here. So Sunday night is going to be amazing. It's going to be really good. We have technical stuff to deal with, so we can do this on Sunday night, but it should be live on YouTube. I'm going to try and see if I can stream it as well at the same time live on Facebook, but it's mainly going to be questions and stuff through the YouTube channel. So don't forget, look, the more people we can get involved, the easier it's going to be for you, the easier it's going to be for me, the easier it's going to be for your kids, my kids, everybody's kids. You know, you just need to get involved. So make sure your path is really get that foundations. And part of getting this path and foundation is sharing this video. So people then can get on board. People then can be on the same page. If we are all on the same page, then we can do amazing things. Yeah? So please do share this on your Facebook page. Make sure people have seen it. Talk about it on Instagram, everything like that. If the moment we start getting this wave going forward, we have the possibilities to change everything. It is going to be amazing. Sunday night, we're going to tie in the economy. We're going to tie in politics. We're going to tie in spirituality, religions. We're going to tie in geological events, pole shifts, solar flashes. The whole lot is going to be put into one bag of disco fudge. It is going to be great. Seriously, be there. Okay? I'll speak to you soon. In the meantime, this has been your midweek energy update, and I will see you soon. Ciao for now.